Back when I first started making Linux videos on this channel, window manager videos were one of my core focus. It wasn't my primary focus, but it was definitely one of the top three. Whether it was i3 videos back when I first started, or following that doing BsPWM. And eventually I stopped using those and made my way over to Awesome. But when I started using Awesome, the window manager videos also stopped, which might seem really weird because Awesome is incredibly customizable. But for me, Awesome is way too comfy. So if you don't know, AwesomeWM started as a fork of DWM, adding in various sensible defaults, making it actually usable out of the box. Sure, you can use DWM, but it's not a good experience. Adding things like the Lua configuration API, making it so you can easily modify everything going on in the window manager without modifying the source. And along with that came incredible documentation showing you everything you can do. So if you're looking for a customizable window manager with the documentation to back it up, AwesomeWM might honestly be one of the best things you can go with. But on the other hand, the sensible defaults are great. But in my case, they might be a little bit too great. For me, out of the box, AwesomeWM is basically as close to a perfect window manager as I'm going to get. I say close because there is a little bit of work I have done. For example, coming from that i3 background, some of the default key bindings were a little bit strange. One of those being Mod Shift Q. By default, Mod Shift Q kills the window manager. i3, on the other hand, it killed a window, and that's the binding I used in BsPWM as well, and I wasn't going to get rid of it. You do not know how many times I accidentally killed the window manager trying to kill a window. I didn't like it, and I wasn't going to get used to it. The other one was Mod Shift H and L. By default, that changed the number of master nodes. So that is basically the number of nodes you see on the left-hand side here in the layout I'm using. But i3, that was used to move a window around. Another one that I just wasn't going to get used to. There was also some minor theming changes I had to make, for example, changing the color of the window borders. By default, I believe they were grey. Also, they were a little bit thicker. I like my 2-pixel blue window borders when a window is active. It's just what I've always used, and I don't think I'm ever going to change it. I also like my window gaps. You can say window gaps are useless. They are, but I like the look of them. And also there was some slight color changes in the status bar, but if you compare this with the vanilla status bar, you're going to be hard-pressed to actually find the difference. And then I also trashed the layouts I literally was never going to be using. But even then, I still don't really change it that often. Typically, I just leave it with the master node on the left-hand side, and then on my second monitor, the master node is on the right-hand side. And it's not that I haven't been exploring various sections of Awesome, looking for things that might be interesting to talk about, whether that be what other people are doing, or just trying to find something in the documentation that looks like it might make a good video, whether that be window spawning or changing the way notifications work, modifying the bar, and all of the other things you can do with Awesome, even just like a basic Lua tutorial. But nothing ever drove me to do that work like it did with BsPWM, where with BsPWM, you literally start with a window manager that is unusable. Like, you cannot even spawn a window unless you go and add that into something like SXHKD. So when I switched to BsPWM, it basically forced me to learn what was going on, and because I was learning all of this stuff, I thought, okay, well, I might as well make videos on it because I'm already doing the work. And then back with i3, back when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing, so everything at that point was really exciting. Messing around just to see what I liked in a window manager, because I hadn't used a window manager before that point. I'd just been on Windows, and, you know, floating windows, not really any customization. So going from that to, hey, here is a tiling window manager, it's this whole new dynamic, this whole new way of working, and I was really excited to try stuff out. And it might be different if I was the sort of person where when I switch from one window manager to another or one application to another, I basically threw everything away and built everything from the ground up again. I made a new theme, I changed out my applications, I changed out the way I was working, and just basically gave myself a whole new system. But that's not what I'm doing. When I was on i3, I had a bar. When I went to BsPWM, I had the exact same bar, slightly modified to work better with BsPWM. I did change up my bar now, but my overall theme, like the way my windows are themed, is exactly the same. I basically try to take one thing and move it from place to place to place until I find the place where it feels the best. Basically what I'm saying here is Awesome is too awesome of a window manager, at least for me. And that might be great if all you want to do is use a tiling window manager and you want something that just works well. But I've always enjoyed the process of configuring my window manager, tearing it down, building it back up, trying to get what I want to work inside of that system, even if that system isn't designed out of the box to work like that. And I've always enjoyed that. It makes great content, because there's a lot of people out there who do want to configure it, but they don't know really where to start. Especially back on BsPWM, where the documentation, while it was there, wasn't exactly laid out in a very user-friendly format. And you've probably seen me mention this in a podcast or a live stream, but I've heavily been considering a change. Not just a change to another Xorg window manager, a change that would force me to basically relearn everything and spend a bit of time actually working on what amounts to a new system. What I'm thinking of doing is moving over to Sway, which is effectively the Wayland version of i3. It is compatible with your i3 configuration, but that's sort of the least important part of the change. Sure, the window manager is going to be basically the same thing, but all of the software surrounding the window manager, that's what's going to be changing. All of the various X11 specific software I'm using to make my system work the way it does, whether that be Xrender, Xset Wacom, or anything like that, I'm going to find ways to work with the alternatives and make it work. I don't know when this is going to happen or whether it's 100% confirmed, because I also need Pipewire to be stable as well, because Pipewire is the way that you do video capture through Wayland, and, you know, I need OBS. Sure, I could go and use, like, GNOME and use whatever the GNOME capture software is, but that's not going to happen. If I cannot get OBS working stably, then the switch will not be happening. From my understanding, though, it should be fine. It's just going to be a little bit different, and things might just be a little bit less convenient. But I don't know of anyone who's actually doing window manager videos under the context of Wayland, and I feel like there's definitely some work that can be done there. And to the people that are hardcore AwesomeWM guys who spent multiple months configuring Awesome, making it work exactly the way they want, styling every element of Awesome, writing thousands of lines of Lua code, I know you guys are out there, some of you are in my Discord, even going so far as making custom layouts. What I'm going to say to you is more power to you. If you like to do that, and that's how you want to work with Awesome, that's great. If you don't like the way it's configured out of the box, perfectly fine. But for me, it was so close to what I wanted with a window manager that I just couldn't bring myself to modify it. Just to preempt those comments from people saying I'm absolutely insane. Now, I know this wasn't a super useful video, but I wanted to explain what was going on. Why did I stop doing those videos? And what the future is going to be for them. So let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think about a switch over to Wayland. If you're using Sway, let me know what you think of Sway. Let me know about some of the alternatives I could be using for some of those Xorg software. I would love to know. So if you like this video, I'm going to go and like the video. And if you really like the video and you want to become one of these amazing people over here, go check out my Patreon, subscribe to Only Bearer Pay, link in the description down below. I've got a podcast called Tech Over Tea, available basically anywhere. I've got a gaming channel called Brodie Robertson Plays. I've got a podcast called Tech Over Tea. Did I say that? I don't remember. Anyway, I'm out, so bye.